To save time, go to your slides, click the photo inspirations, and choose one that really appeals to you. We will be making changes to this, so it won't be exact. Just choose one where you really like the shapes and the layers. Get a black Sharpie. Start drawing in the background shape from your photo. Use it as a guide, but it does not have to be exact. There's no erasing. We're going to draw it straight out in Sharpie. If you have trees or something you want to add, once again, we're going to stylize them like our Skill Builder ones. They do not have to be perfect. But I'd recommend, in my case, I started with my background and then I'm going down to the foreground, and now I'm filling the middle ground with some lines. Add any details you want. The focus is more on the layers of the middle ground and the background. Now I'm adding some extra lines just to divide my layers a little bit. Now the fun's going to really begin. We need to begin by collecting some oil pastels. Choose 3 to 4 colors only, so that way you can repeat some. Take the papers off, so it is just the crayon. So you can see that I'm going to do that with the blue one. Take the paper off. And then if you find it easier to do this with a smaller oil pastel, you can break the oil pastel in half. Now we're going to get a texture plate with a pattern that you like on it. Put it under our paper, and we're going to color using the oil pastel on its side, and then you're going to fill just one shape of your landscape. If you have any details like a house or trees, color around them, so that way they stand out against the texture. Slide the texture plate along when you run out of space. Some of them are square and shorter and others are nice and long. So just make sure. You can see I got the edge there accidentally, which I don't mind. But yeah, just keep sliding it along your paper so that way you have that nice surface to rub the crayon on. Choose another section to put the same color and the same texture. So I'm going to do mine down the bottom. Having 2 of them is going to create balance. Now we can choose a different texture to put in another section. Remember, color around any details. You'll notice I'm leaving some areas white. That's because we're going to put a black and white design in those. So now I'm going to speed up the rest so that you can see how to do it. Before I speed it up though, just a hint, if you get stuck for patterns, you can Google Zentangles or patterns and use them. Otherwise, just repeat any shape and we're going to fill those white spaces with some beautiful patterns. Notice how I'm using the thick marker and the thin pen to give different line variation. Now we're going to get some watercolors, and you can paint any colors you want on top of the oil pastels. In the trees, I added 2 colors and I pressed the paper towel down on it. And in the sky, I sprinkle salt. That needs to dry, and then we dust the salt off at the end. Carry your painting flat so that the paints don't run. Then get a sponge, squeeze out the water, wipe your table, and use a clean paper towel to wipe your table. Your cleaning up is just as important as your creating.